When Eric Williams said money was no problem, this is what he meant. It was a call to action to PNM and its financiers to loot. Things like this is how it's looted. You build pork projects, waste projects, things that have no meaning, no value, no nothing. You hyperinflate it. You issue contracts for kickbacks. Something like this that should cost $1 million, $1.5 million to build, max, would have cost the country $40 million. Nobody comes down into the beat-up. Nobody comes to see what exactly they built for the $40 million so they can get away with it. And then you build it. A minister or two comes, a permanent secretary, golden shovels, they stunt, they turn the soil, they make it. It serves no purpose. But it never was to serve any purpose at all. Its job was just to steal money. And this is an example of how to steal money. When they talk about going to build a school in Tobago for $200 million, the schools that we build, the senior secondary model that we build, those schools shouldn't cost more than $15 million to build. But we spent $200 million to build them because 15 million, say 20, that's the actual cost, $180 million divided between financiers and politicians. That is why you have politicians living in Goodwood Park and Valsayn who were packing grocery shelves or hustling for a living before. And the best way to hustle is to put your wife in a law firm, because you could never request briefs to see what your wife made. Look at this, the kind of money your wife made. Look at this, and all of the wives in the PNM and UNC are also contractors. They own contracting firms. Because we have no law in this country to prevent you sitting in a cabinet and your wife being a material beneficiary. Look at this building here. We have thousands of these buildings dotting the landscape all through Trinidad and Tobago, where steel manufacturers, steel fabricators get contracts. That building must cost $250 million, never to be completed. 2 terms will pass, 3 terms will pass. Manning will blame Pandey, Pandey will blame Rowley, Rowley will blame Kamala. And all of this will continue. And we will pretend that any of this is real governance. Now, a lot of you not taking it on, and a lot of you eating your popcorn, and a lot of you saying, boy, Phillip, go in your house and sleep, and it's no problem at all. I can go in my house and sleep. But I want you to understand right now, what is really bad is that the government is telling you things like they successfully raise a bond. When you raise a bond, it's a loan. Somebody has to pay back in the future. $500 million here, IDB $280 million there, this other company $350 million there, for nonsense projects. And all of those projects are hyperinflated, 100%, 200%. Some I have seen have been hyperinflated beyond 1,000%. Nothing that is being done right now is of any value to this country. None of it serves any purpose. We spend in this country billions of dollars a year, and we can't manage water. This is the Beetham wastewater treatment plant here, and we can't manage anything to do with water because it is deliberately sabotaged to keep us also spending money for water after. So this now, whatever this was supposed to be, they'll come back and throw this down and spend the next $200 million, and PNM will say they're doing it better than UNC, and Kamala will say they're doing it for the Life Fund, and we will just take nonsense after nonsense until one day there is nobody left to lend us. And then the mass of humanity that lives over there, when that could no longer be satisfied with European CPEP handouts, because you have to know this. There's a mass of people in this country, about between 500,000 and 700,000 people, that hover around the poverty line. What the poverty line means is that they're belly rumbling, but they're getting a meal. We're going to reach a place, if this continues, because we have no income, we have no way of earning any money to create these jobs, because people talk about the boots around the savannah creates jobs. No, they don't create jobs, they're a way to steal. But it's also a way to satisfy supporters. So the supporters that get $200 a day to come and put up the vending booths are not the ones who benefiting from the $1.8 million a year to store plywood. And all of this I am saying to you, and all of this I'm telling you, is to wake you up. Because if we do not wake up, a time is going to come when we have no income. There is nothing bringing money in this country. They have no amount of chocolates, lockjack, and no amount of sweet drink Joseph Charles could sell that could keep the people of the country employed. Gas is hitting an all-time low. Oil costs you money to drill. We don't own a refinery anymore. Trinidad is in trouble for earnings and income. The entire globe was savaged by coronavirus, COVID-19. So the very few people we could turn to, and very few people interested in lending a country that has no income, lending us money. We are in debt to everybody. This is an election year, and probably our last chance to save Trinidad and Tobago. Whatever happens next is up to you. But to the people talking protests, the only protest that's going to have any value in this country is inside the ballot booth with your finger. Vote a political party that is disconnected from this insanity, that could rebuild this country. Because if we do not do that, we are scheduled and on schedule to eat the bread the devil needing all now.